So, it's no secret that I think life skills are lacking in society. Trust me, I was 27, broke, living in my mother's basement. I was like the stereotypical loser, although that's now like the norm because today's economy doesn't allow young people to go out into the world very well. But here, I'm going to help you fix that because I turned my life around. I went through some incredibly horrible experiences that I had to go through in order to learn some lessons. On the other side of that, when I came home and moved in with my mom because I was broke in debt, no job, no nothing, to then buying a house, paying off debt, getting married, quadrupling my income, all in a 3 year span. And now I want to share some of those lessons with you. So let's dive in. The first thing that's going to change your life, period, is constant learning. You're already watching YouTube, you're already on social media, you're already maybe listening to podcasts. What you need to do is start being selective about the channels, the podcasts, the things that you follow and take in. You need to start being super selective and make sure that they are things that are encouraging growth in you, that are encouraging good choices, that are not just mindless entertainment or very negative things that bring down your spirit. So, in my Learn How to Be Deeper video, I do talk about a few things that are the foundation for this. So, go check that video out. But just having a mindset of growth will take you much farther in life. Listen, part of that growth mindset, as far as just making sure you are learning things that are actually useful and helpful, like learn skills that will make you money, learn history so that you know why things are the way they are, how things came to be, how humans operate mentally, psychologically, all of that good stuff. Learn those things, but also understand that every single person that you see, come across, whatever, every single person, even those who hurt you and did you wrong, you can learn something from every single person in life, whether you think you are so far above them or not. Having the mindset that you can learn something from everyone, even if you're learning something from them in that is something I don't want to do in my life, you're learning from them, okay? So have a sense of gratitude for everyone. Have a sense of love, Christ's love especially. But understand that everyone can teach you a lesson. So humble yourself and allow yourself to learn the lesson, to see the lesson. Ask God to show you the lesson. Okay, so always be constantly learning, growing your knowledge. That is the foundational step of getting your life together. Next is networking. Okay, I know you may be introverted or you may love it. You may love people. I'm introverted, but I have endeared myself to so many people that I have a community around me that is very supportive. And if I need something, they are very willing and happy to help me. Let me just kind of tell you this story. I grew up in a very small town. I was homeschooled. It wasn't like I was known growing up. I mean, I was involved in community theater, 4-H, and church. I was out in the community in those aspects, but I didn't go to school there, so I didn't have the connections that people my age would. However, coming from this tiny small town, now that I've moved to the big city, the three bosses that allowed me to quadruple my income from living in my mom's basement in that tiny town, those three bosses all came from that small town too. So the first boss, he actually worked with my mother in that small town earlier. So he knew my name when my resume came across his desk, and he also saw, based on my education in college, that I had gone to the junior college in that town. So he hired me. And then from there, my next boss also saw that small town on my resume from my college. But before that interview, I looked her up on Facebook and I saw that she was from that small town. So I made sure that I brought that up in my interview so that that was like an extra point for me that she could relate to, that brought me some common ground with her, that made her see she's like me, which is everybody wants that. Everyone wants the familiar, the thing that mirrors them. So me bringing that up was very helpful for me getting that job too. That was at a nonprofit that was very in the community. And so I got to meet a lot of people in the community of that city, which is a suburb of the big city. So through that, I was able to meet someone who then propositioned me for the job where I am now because she thought I'd be a great fit. And then when I interviewed for the guy that she recommended me for, turns out he's from that small town too. And so I got all three of my best jobs just from being from a certain place and knowing people who could then lift me up into positions that I wouldn't even think to apply for. So, all of this is to say that your network is incredibly important. And so, expanding that as much as you can and having relationships with people in circles that are not your normal circles will greatly enhance your life. You will learn so much from them. They can offer you opportunities that you wouldn't have access to otherwise. Opportunities that will take you farther in life than what you would normally do. Make sure that you are building your network because you never know what's going to come from it. My brother-in-law is just starting his own business and he is a great people person. He's a great networker. But the fact that he's starting his own business at this point, he has such a great network that he is already booked up weeks in advance for his business. Successful people want to see other people succeed too. So if you surround yourself with a network that is full of successful, loving people, they will cheer for you. They will bend over backwards to help you. Building a great network is essential to getting farther ahead in life. We cannot do anything alone. We are not meant to be alone. And what can you achieve alone? If you do not interact with people, period, how are you even making money? Because that's where your money comes from, is other people. Not to say that money is the sole qualifier of success, but it's a big part of it to set you up for success in life. You have to have financial literacy. I was not taught any financial literacy in my life, and I mourn that because I feel like that could have been extremely helpful. My poor parents were financially illiterate. They did not teach me anything about money, ever. I don't think they did for any of us girls. It's because they didn't know either. And I feel like that's common. Those born into very successful families, they probably do know because that's like a big part of success. But I'm going to break some things down for you. Basically, you want to eliminate your debt. So the Dave Ramsey method is a great way to do that. I know my oldest sister did that and they have a very successful, flourishing life. I have done that with my debt and it's been fabulous. It's very helpful. So you may look into that. So you want to eliminate your debt and you want to save for retirement. If your job matches any sort of retirement plan, 401k or Roth 401k, but you have to contribute a certain amount for them to match, do that. Make sure you have an emergency fund, ideally of 6 months worth of expenses, because if you lose your job in 6 months, you could find another job, hopefully, theoretically. So try and have that in savings. Ideally, put it in something that is getting a decent yield, like a bond or a money market, just depending on what the stock market is doing. But if you have it in just a savings account earning, 0.004%, that's a terrible use of your money. So make sure you put it in something that's getting you a little bit more of a yield, but like keep it as cashable as you can for any emergency that you need and keep adding to it as much as you can when you can. Life happens, I know, but you don't want to be dipping into your emergency fund, but you do want to have it there for when you need it. A blowout, a transmission, something that you have to pay for out of pocket. It's scary because if you had an emergency $1,000 bill come up, could you pay it? Eliminate your debt, save for retirement, get yourself an emergency fund going, and don't touch it. Put it in a place where it will grow, but it's still accessible. And then live within your means so that you are actually able to save. That may mean not buying the latest trend or more clothes. Maybe it means not going out to eat all the time. When you do actually add up how much you spend on these things, it's kind of a lot. You could put that somewhere where it's actually earning you money. So live within your means. That can mean different things for different people. Okay, the next tip, if you haven't already done it, is choose your spouse wisely. They say the biggest business decision of your life is who you marry. It's true. So be wise about it. Your spouse can make or break the quality of your life. It's really incredible. Now, as far as soulmates, listen to this. You have hundreds of soulmates out there. You do. The one that you end up marrying is the one that is in your vicinity when you decide you're going to settle down, when you're ready for settling down. So this comes back to your network. To make sure that you are surrounded by the type of people that are uplifting you and are successful and that will help you in life. Your future spouse may be there, but also your future spouse makes or breaks your life as far as like the joy and pleasantness in it. It's very important, okay? So choose your circles wisely. Next is to find some sort of mentor or advisor that will help give you wisdom in life and help you make the big decisions because maybe they've been there, maybe they've gone through that, or maybe they've just seen enough of life that they can help give you a wise opinion on that situation in your life. Go where the people that you want to mentor you are. Honestly, there are not a lot of young people in a lot of these old civic groups. And when I have attended those, like the Rotary Club or a Chamber of Commerce, being one of the few young people that has attended those events, I was a hit. Like they love seeing a young person come into those groups and they will nurture you like nobody's business. It's amazing the things you can learn from these successful people who have already gone through it. So make sure you head out to your local business networking club. Find one you fit with and start attending it. Grow your network. When they say your network is your net worth, that's legit. Okay? And like you are the five people you surround yourself with. And if you surround yourself with five millionaires, you'll become the sixth. These things are real. They're important. So find a network that supports what you want in life. And then the last tip for today is present yourself well. Dress well, work out, eat healthy, have good manners. Presenting yourself well will endear people to you and they will want to help you. Okay? Being a loving, social person does help you in life. It really does. Present yourself well, be honest, be truthful, show love. All right, I think this may end up being a series because there is a lot of things that go into setting your life up for success, but this is a great little crash course in it. But if you found any of this helpful, I would love to know. So leave me a comment down below. And as always, this channel is all about elevating you and helping you become the most successful, beautiful, well-rounded, and encompassed person you can be. So go ahead and hit that subscribe if you're interested in that, and I will see you next time. God bless you.